The expectations we have of ourselves come from the expectations that other people have of us. And we either spend our time living up to them, or we spend our time living down to them. Your work matters because you let every single person that you serve know that I'm here. That I'm here to support, that I'm here to help, that I'm here to sympathize, that I'm here to empathize, that I'm here to walk with you, regardless of how fast you're moving. I'm not going anywhere. Your work matters because you understand the truest tenet of what it means to be a true citizen. That as we're going to navigate this process together, it needs to genuinely be together. And you understand what it means to make a life and live a life that's actually worth living. I remember I had a colonel in military school, and this guy was as tough as nails. He was a 3-time Vietnam veteran, and my Clee brothers and I used to laugh, say I think we only saw him smile once, and I think it was an accident when we saw him smile. But we loved him because he was fair. And he was losing weight really quickly, and one day he told the entire Corps of Cadets, he told us all together, and he told us that he had to leave the school because he was diagnosed with cancer. And during his farewell address, we were all sitting in the pew, and he was standing up in the pulpit. And he said something to us that day that I'll never forget. He said, when it's time for you to leave, whether it's time for you to leave the school, whether it's time for you to leave your job, whether it's time for you to leave your community, or when it's time for you to leave this planet, make sure that you were ever even here. Make sure that it mattered that you were ever here. Because none of us are promised, and we're not promised more days or more weeks or more years. No one's ever whispered in my ear and told me how many days exactly that I have left so I can go ahead and pace myself. And nobody ever will. The one thing that we know is while we're here, let's do something creative and let's do something special. I think about some of my friends who are actually all products of the United Way. Some of my friends like Joe Manco, who is a teacher now in Baltimore City, who when he first took over school, was one of the worst schools inside of Baltimore City, one of the worst middle schools in Baltimore City. And he's implemented so many amazing things in his school, but the one thing that he first implemented was that he arrives at the school every single morning at 6:30, and every child that walks through that door at 6:30 and 7 o'clock in the morning is greeted with a hug from him, and him telling them, I love you. Every child. And I asked him why he does it, and he says, because I know that for many of the kids who we're going to see that day, that might be the first hug received that day, and that might be the first time that someone told them, I love you. I think about another United Way project, a woman named Kara Alley's up in Boston, who started an organization called American Mojo, and Mojo stands for Mothers and Jobs. And the reason that she called it that was a tribute to her mother. Her mother, who was a single mother, who received the support of others, and one day received a job, and how that job changed the trajectory of the family. And so Kara started this company, an apparel company called American Mojo. And the reason that she called it American Mojo for Mothers and Jobs is because the only people that she hires are single mothers who live in poverty. From the top job to the bottom job. And she does it and did it as a tribute to her mother. The United Way for decades has been making a market improvement in all of our lives. And I thank you for not continuing to grab hold of that legend, but for building upon it. We all stand here because before we saw it in ourselves, something saw something in us. Someone saw that. Our job now is to be that someone for countless others. You matter. Your work matters. Your service matters. And I stand here on behalf of all of you who have been the beneficiaries of your love to say thank you. I wish I could do it in person, but I want to give all of you an amazingly big and strong hug for your work that you've done thus far, but more importantly, for the work you're going to do tomorrow for the work you're going to do next week, for the work you're going to do next month, for the work you're going to do next year, for the work that you will continue to do, because you know what matters. Your life matters. Your work matters. The united way matters. God bless you, God. Thank you for everything you're doing, and thank you for serving and making sure our nation's worth fighting for. God bless you guys, and thank you.